All right, I'm Jenny Wolek with the Wolek Group in Keller Williams with Keller Willams Realty in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm so excited to chat with my friend Ken Pozek from Orlando, Florida. And Ken, thank you for sharing your time. And today is all about your growth over the years. You were actually my very first Agent Success Secrets video.
It was an honor. Like how you've grown and got your audience going and all these good people that you've had with you. I feel like this is pretty cool. I like it.
You're my first second timer. So there you go.
Nice.
I looked it up. That was November of 2017. So why don't we share with everyone who maybe didn't catch that old video? I'll definitely pull it up because, man, I was terrible at asking questions. I've gotten a little better with practice. Time on the task over time.
That's what it is, yeah, especially with video or really anything, right? That's kind of cool about us. Yep.
So why don't you share with everybody who you are, how you got here, and all the great things going on in your life and business.
Yeah, so the 30 or 60 seconds is, so I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and built a team up there until about late 2016, and decided my wife and I were going to start over again in a warmer climate. And so through a lot of different reasons, we chose Orlando. And so started over. 2017 was my first full year here. So I think our video is like kind of towards the end of the first full year. And that was interesting times, lots of ups and downs. But 2019, my team and I, we ended up at 153 units for 46 million here in Orlando.
That's awesome. And what I love about you and your story is that you have proven that you can uproot your business and your life and your family and start over in this business and have pretty instant success. Let's go back in time, that 2018 and 19, when you were starting over. What were the number one lessons that you learned from back then?
So starting over again, I feel like it was funny because I had some money set aside, but I had no database. And I was so database driven in Michigan that I was like, I'll just buy a database, like no big deal. Like it'll be easy. I'll just go buy, I'll buy free farming and ISAs and radio ads and all this other kind of stuff. I'm just going to spend my way back to production. And it's kind of hard when you're not leading with revenue. And so 2018, I said, forget that. I'm just going to go back to what I know, which is database, some farming through, open houses and that sort of thing. And then we kicked up YouTube in like early 2018. And over the past couple of years, we've built that asset to where now it's bringing in leads like crazy. And so we're definitely leading with revenue, and video is a big part of that, which I know we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I love it. And you were just on a panel at Family Reunion on this topic, YouTube and using video. And I know that so many people, if they've seen your videos, it's just, well, first off, you just have a great personality and it comes through in your videos. So that's one important thing to note. And you don't have to be quick and witty like you to succeed in video either, would you say?
No, not at all. I mean, I say, I've shot over 250 videos in the past 2 years. The first 40 of them you can't see anymore because they were so bad. Even the ones that you can see, they're pretty bad. So really over the past year, I've kind of finally felt more comfortable in front of the camera. And it's like what you just started out this with. It's just like time on task over time, whether you're starting expireds or open houses or really anything in this business, the more at-bats you have, the better you're going to get. And so it's been a fun journey.
Well, I want to share this with all the real estate agents that are watching, because I know that we go to these big conventions and we learn all these new ideas, and then we get back and we're just in overwhelm and we freeze up and we don't do anything because we don't know which direction to go in. So I loved how before we hopped on, you shared that you should really know your top levers of business. So why don't you kind of talk on that topic of how you got to discover yours?
Yeah, so for me, it was in Michigan, which again, we had a good sized business there, and we're doing well. We were always like farming and database driven. And so for me, I knew those really well. So I wanted to look at, okay, growing those two pillars were going to be those top two, but then how can I accentuate that? And really video has allowed me to just kind of do those two things even better. And so I think that whatever it is, you want to get really good at one thing before you move on to the next. Like there was a whole book about it, I think. So it's somewhere back there. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So read this if you haven't read it. That's just one little plug for the one thing. No, you're exactly right. You're just doing all things bad, or let's just focus on the top reasons. I actually just was rereading Shift because I don't know if you're feeling anything in your market. We're starting to feel it here in the middle of the country. And tactic 4 is find the motivated. And it goes back to the basics of lead generation and
Yeah.
focus once again. And so you have gotten to where you're seeing results from your videos. So why don't you just dive right into that?
Yeah.
What you're
So,
doing.
yeah. So the biggest thing for us was, okay, how can I create an asset that like Zillow can't take away? Or how can I stop paying Zillow altogether, or Realtor.com, or all these kind of things? And so what we noticed is that with the advent of like YouTube 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like Google loves YouTube. And so if people are searching on, Orlando homes for sale, or Tulsa homes for sale, or Tulsa, whatever, Google grabs YouTube because Google owns YouTube and says, okay, I'm going to show these videos in the search results. And so I started noticing a couple agents in my market doing it okay. And then I just started searching other areas around the country. I said, there has to be other agents that are doing this. And I noticed that nobody was really like crushing it. There's a few that are doing okay. And I started reaching out to them and saying, okay, like, A, why are you doing it? B, what are your results? What is it, right? Just kind of diving into their business a little bit. And there's been some great agents that have helped me along the way. And so we've noticed that if you're shooting good long tail keyword content, which would be like, in my market, that would be like Ashton Wood's home, the Williamson model in this neighborhood, right? I can rank very quickly, very easily for those long tail keywords. And so we started shooting videos about that. And really the first videos that we did were just on my cell phone and a gimbal, and I would edit it on my computer, and it looked okay. But we started ranking really well and getting leads for those. And so that's kind of how the YouTube journey started. And now I've got a videographer who's on part-time staff, and we're putting out 1 to 2 pieces of content every week.
So really that's a great message for everyone. Like you, I've been using video all for many, many years, and it's still mostly shot on my phone and uploaded to my YouTube channel, shared to my viral marketing representative, who then goes and edits it and makes it fancy. So
Perfect.
you can start super cheap. You can
Mhm.
start adding in leverage, and then you can start bringing in your own people to really up it once you start seeing results, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, leading with revenue is huge. And so going back just to finish up the tactic 4, right? Finding the motivated. So for us, figuring out what market you have, like not everybody has a big new construction market in their neighborhood, but they have people maybe relocating because they're relocating for military, or they're relocating for X, Y, and Z. So shooting content around that and finding people that are then searching for that online, that would be a pretty motivated person, right? If someone says, hey, I'm relocating to Tulsa, or I'm relocating to Orlando because of X, Y, and Z, and oh, there's this realtor that is speaking my language, speaking to where I'm at in my life, I'm going to reach out. Like that's a really powerful person, in terms of a lead quality over, pay-per-click or some other random lead source that we're finding. And oh, you don't have to pay a referral fee on these leads, that kind of thing, right? It's amazing, And so, so then going back to leading with revenue, for us, it was being super cheap. I was just editing the videos late at night myself. But if you want to, hiring a company like Viral Marketing is an awesome idea to introduce some leverage early on. And then after I was done and kind of sick of editing myself, because we were getting some leads and having some closings, I hired an editor just outside for $100 a video. And then as things continued to progress, I think last year we did like $200,000 in GCI just from YouTube. So now I can afford to have somebody shoot the video, edit the video, upload to YouTube, and it works really well.
So something you threw out there that I think we need to point out is, first off, real estate agents must run their business like a business and know their numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
Making sure people realize that. It took me a long time to figure out. So if I am new to the video game and I want to implement it for my local database, for my community, for YouTube and the world, what are the first best videos for me to make?
I think it's like doing like top 10 lists are great, or top 5 lists, right? Like reasons why people move to your area. There's a reason why somebody moves to your area, or a reason why you stay, right? And so putting together those, like people love to see those top 10, top 5 lists. And then something that's going to be, use Google. You can go to Google.com, start searching in the toolbar about your town, right? And you're going to see kind of what people are already searching. Like if you said moving to Tulsa or Tulsa, and then what does Google finish it with, right? It's going to give you ideas of what people are already searching, and shoot videos around that.
Okay, so let's say I kind of do some of these things, and like me, I kind of do some of
Yeah,
these,
yeah, yeah.
and then usually we have been using the YouTube as just a placeholder for the content, and then posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, whatever.
Mhm.
It hasn't been set up to be its own portal, if you will,
Mhm.
of a place. Where do people start with that? If that makes sense.
So yeah, for sure. So I think that, if you're putting it onto Facebook and on Instagram, you should be uploading those things organically, right? So uploading it directly to Facebook is going to allow your reach to be a lot better. Like Facebook and YouTube, or Facebook and Google are they're not the same company, right? They're competitors. And so if you upload your stuff directly to Facebook, I think that would be important. So the next thing I would do, so creating your own YouTube channel that is a lead generation machine. It's an asset that you're building over time, that the more videos you put out, the better the quality eventually, the better you're paying attention to title and thumbnails and all of these things. The smarter you get about it, the more leads it's going to bring in, and it just kind of takes on a life of its own. So that's what I would do. I would follow guys like Daryl Eves. His last name is Eves. He's fantastic. He specifically teaches you how to grow a YouTube channel, and you know these things are important. Like, you can't just throw up a video about moving to Tulsa without understanding, like, hey, half of the clicks, half of the watches I'm going to get are because I have a really great looking thumbnail. And so then figuring out what's a eye catching thumbnail that people are actually going to want to click on, and then having a really great title that's going to allow Google to then find your video. All of these things are really important to get smart on. But again, I think that I started not knowing any of this. It was just like, hey, listen, I'm stupid enough to like keep putting out videos every single week and get better over time. And I think that that's the biggest takeaway from this, is like consistency over time is going to help you win. You're not going to put out one video and then the leads just start coming in, or like, you're not going to put out one video and then you have 1,000 views. It really builds on itself.
Okay, so what else? I know that when you were on your family reunion panel, what other big topics came up or questions were asked that you feel like we should share, that everybody gets to hear a piece of from you?
Yeah, I think again, just so the panel on Family Reunion was great. It had some various like basic kind of like, here's how you upload a video, here's how you get going. So those slides, I believe, are available now if you want to jump on there. But then like the second portion was really around getting found on YouTube. And so a big piece of that is, like I mentioned, the thumbnails, having it eye catching. And the reason that's important, like, using YouTube as a search engine to figure out your keywords is also great, but then also seeing what your competition looks like. So like, if you go onto Google and you type in moving to Orlando, like, I think I come up third. And I looked at all my competition and I said, hey, their photos are them in front of the castle or at Magic Kingdom, or they're using yellow in all of their fonts. So I'm going to go completely opposite. It's going to be blue background, yellow writing, or red light writing, and just kind of being opposite. So I stood out while people are scrolling with their thumb, right? So little tips like that are going to mean a ton in terms of your viewer count. And obviously, the more views you get, the more lead opportunities you have. And so that would be a big takeaway, I would say. The other piece is, throughout, you're going to have different call to actions. Like, why are people going to reach out to you? Yes, you're going to be kind of like the mayor of your town, but like, what benefit do people have for reaching out to you? And so for us, it's like, sometimes we were doing things like, hey, listen, if you're buying new construction, make sure you give me a call. I'll save you $5,000 or pay you the difference at closing, right? There's kind of like a tag there. And if you do new construction enough, you can't save $5,000 with somebody, whether it's Keller Mortgage or somebody else, you're probably not doing something right. And so, yeah, just having call to actions was another one that we were talking about.
So you obviously use video to create interest in people reaching out to you for real estate
Mm-hmm.
specifically. Do you
Yep.
use video in other areas for
Mm.
your database?
That's a very good question. So the cool thing why we added video, so yes, it's a lead gen machine, but then it's our built-in database program. Like, we send an email every week with a new tour of a new neighborhood, or I went around Orlando and I did reviews on coffee shops, and I said, hey, we're going to name the best coffee shop in Orlando, right? And like, what, did I make a mistake? You tell me what your favorite one was, right?
I know.
And so sending this out, we have like a 60 touch program now, because we're sending out a video every week, plus our client parties, plus our stuff in the mail. plus market reports. Like it makes it really easy to fill your database calendar when you're putting out consistent video. And I think people care more about that than what are mortgage rates doing this week?
Yes.
Right. I hate getting emails from other realtors that are just like, here's my new listing, here's my new sale. Like even though I'm interested in it in general, like those usually hit the trash can. And so the second piece of that was, how do I create a really big agent database that I can get referrals to? Like that was one of our top 3 sources as well. And so you and Josh Anderson kind of taught me that a little bit, that whole game. But like, how can I provide life or value to the life of an agent that's not also like, oh, if you want to see my new listing here in Orlando, like you don't care in Tulsa, like what my new listings are really. And so it's like, so we started putting out videos on like, here's how I'm succeeding, here's how I'm failing, here's something that helped us with our business this month. And I think, going video first with that, it provides like a connection with your personality that is hard to do with just like a postcard or an email.
So true. Video really does share who you really are, as good as you can get through, distance.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And so I think, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go.
No, obviously, so a lot of folks, the biggest thing is like, well, how do I get started? I'm nervous on camera. I'm not any good. Like, again, none of us are good. And so one suggestion that I would give you is jump on Instagram, jump on Snapchat or Facebook and go live and just start talking about, the place you're at today or a little bit about your day. And the more that you can get on camera, the more comfortable you're going to be. And then the second thing I would say is I don't script anything anymore. I think a lot of people will, they'll get their little page in front of them and read on video. That looks terrible. So don't do that. But yeah, sorry, you had something else.
I totally agree with the scripting part, and I'm with you. My old videos are so terrible. Oh my gosh, so terrible. So yes, the key is definitely practice and practice and practice. And then if you go live and it's just too terrible, you can delete it later.
You can delete it. Yeah, exactly. Of course.
So so you're sending out all these touches to your database. How are they going out? Are you using a tool to send them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we currently use Constant Contact, and we'll probably look at going into Command now that we can start sending out more than 50 emails at a time. You send a lot, like tens of thousands a month, and so it's basically the same thumbnail that I use for YouTube. It goes into Constant Contact, and I've got a template that we pretty much use the same one every week. And it's like, hey, here, video of the week. There's the thumbnail that then clicks over to YouTube when someone clicks on it. And then down below, we have sort of like, our new listing of the week, or if you're thinking about buying or selling, click here. But really, we lead with that content piece of the week.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that for sure. And we can share what that looks like for everyone. So what kind of engagement are you able to track and see when your emails go out to your database? Do you get notifications? Do people reply? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so like with my agent database, I usually have a call to action, and so what's that?
For books, I got one right there.
For books, yeah. So we do book giveaways. I gave away a gimbal, I think last month, and so I ask people to respond back or click here if if they're in for the giveaway, and we'll have like hundreds of people respond back for the giveaway, which is cool. In terms of our database, though, I'm able to track like how many people are opening, what they've clicked on, all that kind of thing. And so then I can provide that back to my team, because if it's somebody in their database, we click on it every week. We go through the open and click report, very similar to what viral marketing does. And you can see like, hey, Sally at 123 Main Street is looking for home values. Maybe it would be a good idea to reach out to her. And so, yeah, give them just thinking about you, listing a house around the corner, where are you at, and it's a good way to get, targeted with your database that way.
Yeah, having a plan of follow-up is key.
It's huge.
So how could people get on your list to receive your agent referral emails?
Yeah, just email me, ken@pozekgroup.com, and we'll make sure you get on there.
Yeah, I think there's great content in there. And that's the whole thing about being, a lot of times agents, and you'll get this too, I'm sure, Ken, is people will say, how do I build my referral network and my partners, referral partner list? And honestly, it's about just sharing and adding value and things that are important to them, like you already mentioned. So what else do we need to chat on today, Kenny?
Kenny, oh geez. I think the other piece is, putting together other marketing pieces, whether it's get to know your team, has been really good for us. So like we do get agent referrals from around the country, and I like to place that referral with whoever's best for the referral on my team, right? So if it's like if they're looking at a certain area of town or they're looking for a certain personality type, I'm able to connect that referral with somebody on my team and, oh, we have a video talking about this agent. Or like different parts of the process, you can break down, parts of the buyer process and make sure you send those videos out to your buyers, and it saves you time, right? So video is like, for me, it's time saving, lead gen, database, like it helps in so many different ways, but we're actually going back through and breaking down the process for buyers, sellers, agent referrals, get to know us videos. And it's been a really big thing for our clients and also retention for our team. Because if I can say, hey, I could save you time and I can get you in front of more clients that are going to engage with you in at a better way. Like, what a great thing. Like, I don't know many teams that are doing that. And so that's been good for us as well.
I agree. And I don't know that, and I really believe that it's helped so much for us with perception in our community, and just upping how people, credibility, because we stand out and look different. So,
yeah,
well,
100%.
you're so amazing, and I'm just so proud of all your success and getting to know you. Of course, they can sign up at your email, ken@pozekgroup.com.
Yep.
To get on your email list. How else can people reach out to you if they have an Orlando referral?
Just hit me up on Facebook. I'm pretty active there. So I'd love to connect with you guys and continue to grow that database and grow that list and provide as much value for you as I can.
Yeah, if you guys need anything from Ken, hit him up. He has so much value, knowledge on all things in general. You're the best, Ken.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. If you need anything from me, just reach out as well. 918-706-9845. Bye.